Hi, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Do you recognize opportunities when you see them? How about opportunities to share your faith story with others? Do you recognize those? One might think that Paul is in such a terrible position at the moment that sharing his faith story is the last thing that he should be doing. Instead, Paul sees an opportunity to share his faith with a crowd who wanted him dead. So let's listen to our devotion for July 16th, 2020, which comes to us from the book of Acts, chapter 21, verse 37 through chapter 22, verse 5. As Paul was about to be brought into the barracks, he said to the tribune, "May I say something to you?" And he said, "Do you know Greek? Are you not the Egyptian then who recently stirred up a revolt and led the 4,000 men of the assassins out into the wilderness?" And Paul replied, "I am a Jew from Tarsus in Cilicia, a citizen of no obscure city. I beg you, permit me to speak to the people." So even though he was badly beaten, Paul implores the tribune to allow him to address the crowd. The tribune had Paul's identity wrong, thinking that he was somebody else, a rabble-rouser, an outside agitator, like those who are fomenting all the violence in the Black Lives Matters protests by paying people to be violent. But the tribune discovers that this is not correct, as Paul identifies himself. 40 and following. And when he had given him permission, Paul, standing on the steps, motioned with his hand to the people. And then there was a great hush. He addressed them in the Hebrew language, saying, "Brothers and fathers, hear the defense that I now make before you." And when they heard that he was addressing them in the Hebrew language, they became even more quiet. So the tribune gives Paul permission to address the crowd. And the people who had been beating on him now move forward to listen better to what Paul has to say. There's a great hush, especially when they realize that he is speaking to them in their own Hebrew language. And he said, "I am a Jew born in Tarsus in Cilicia, but brought up in this city, educated at the feet of Gamaliel, according to the strict manner of the law of our fathers, being zealous for God as all of you are this day." People discover that the guy they were beating on is one of them, a Jew. But not only a Jew, one who is trained by a widely respected rabbi. Verse 4 and following. "I persecuted this way to the death, binding and delivering to prison both men and women, as the high priest and the whole council of elders can bear me witness. From then I received letters to the brothers, and I journeyed toward Damascus, and to take those also who were there and bring them in bonds to Jerusalem to be punished." Again. This guy we nearly beat to death prosecuted the way, captured and bound them with the permission of the high priest and the elders, even going to different cities like Damascus in order to arrest them and bring them back. How do you think you'd feel right now if you were in that mob? You had been beating on Paul, and you find out, hey, he's one of you, and he's had extensive training by respected people, and you hurt him. So the crowd listens to Paul's every word. As I said before, Paul saw an opportunity to share his faith story, and that's what he was doing for as long as possible, for as long as they will allow him to keep talking. Maybe you'll see an opportunity to share your faith story with others, even when it doesn't seem like it's the right time or a good time. And they might listen to you with greater intensity because it seems so unusual. Go in peace, serve the Lord.